Okay, Flodesk is a beautiful new email marketing platform, and it creates beautiful emails that you can send out to your clients, to your customers, whoever you're communicating with. And it's a pretty straightforward system, but if you're newer to email marketing or you've never used Flodesk before or it's been a while since you've done email marketing, it can be a little confusing. So I want to walk you through the basics today so that you can send out your first email and start to get your funnels in place. I'm Angie Veman with Clutch Businesses, and I help women business owners move from hustle to flow. And I do that by automating and streamlining their business processes. I do that by decreasing their expenditures and by increasing their revenue. But today we're going to talk about Flodesk. So let's get started. Okay, so Flodesk offers a free trial. So after you set up your account, you'll need to verify your email address, and once you do that, you'll be brought to this page. And this is really what Flodesk is known and loved for, is their templates. So they have all of these gorgeous emails that you can customize for your brand. So you can change the images, you can change the text so that you're sending a message that you want to send to your customers and clients. Okay, so you can look through them, get inspired, but what you want to do before you go anywhere is click on the F in the upper right-hand corner and then go over to the far right here and go to Account. Okay, so you'll want to set up your account. You can put in your full name here, your password and all of that should be set. Your email address, or the email address that shows up here, will be the email address that you use to set up your account. And then your email setup, you shouldn't have to do anything here except put in your from name. So this is where you want people to see these email address or these emails are coming from. So it could be your business name, it could be your first name, whatever fits your brand. To ensure that people are getting your emails, you want to authenticate your domain. Now, this is based on your website and your web host. So you can follow the instructions here to do that. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I signed up for an account just to do this using my personal email address, not my business email address. So with my business email address, I just clicked on that authenticate and follow, this button and followed the instructions, and it was all taken care of. So you should be able to do the same thing with your business account. Okay, so brand preferences. Now here, you'll want to put in your logo. So I've already gone through and done this, but you can click on this box and then just select the file from your computer, your company name, and then your company address or web address, and then the company address. So you actually have to have a street address that is listed on all of your emails, all of the emails that get sent out. And then you can link your social media accounts here. So I've just linked Facebook, but if you wanted to link Instagram, all you have to do is type in your Instagram account link, and there you can see that that's linked. So you can go through and link all of your social media accounts, and then you can connect your Instagram. So if you want your Instagram posts to be pulled into the emails that you're sending out, you would just do that here. And you just authorize. Make sure that it's pulling from the right Instagram account. And then you can also put in your brand colors here. So this just makes customizing the emails a little quicker. You don't have to do that. And then here, include Made with Love in Flodesk. Now, if you're using a paid plan, you can turn this off. Now, this is what shows up at the bottom of the emails that you sent out. So if you don't want people to know that, you can click that, and then obviously it'll ask you for some money. And then, let's see, double opt-in email. Now, there are a lot of opinions about this. Double opt-in basically means that when they sign up for your email list, before they get whatever they signed up for, so the freebie that you're offering or the information that you're offering, they would receive an email that asks them to verify their email address. Now, that's one way to handle it. If you opt out of double opt-in, that means that they just give you their email address and then they're sent whatever you've promised them in return. And again, there's lots of opinions on that, so do your research and figure out what's best for you. But you can customize that here. So this is a customization for if you have chosen to do the double opt-in. Okay, and then you can also customize a thank you page. So this is what they would see after they signed up. And to customize it, you just click on this, type whatever you want, and you can customize this as well. You can change the font, all of that kind of stuff over here. And we'll go into that more in detail. Okay. Now, if you've got a Shopify site, the way that you would connect this to that, so anybody that purchases something from you automatically gets added to your list, is you would just click here to connect, put in your shop's URL. So notice that it's asking for the myshopify.com address. So if you've got a custom URL for your site, you don't want to put that in here. You want to put what shows up in the search bar up here when you're logged into Shopify, if that makes sense. Okay, so that will get all of your default information set up. So once you've gone through that, then we can go back to this page. So up here are basically the 4 things that you can do with Flodesk. So you have emails, you have forms, you have workflows, and you have your audience. Now emails are one-time emails. So these are perfect for newsletters. They're perfect for notifying people when you've got something back in stock that had been out of stock, or you've got new arrivals that you want to let them know about. So they go out once, they are never resent. If you are on the list to get it, you get it, and if you're not, you don't. Forms are what you add to your site to get people signed up for your email list. So if you are offering a freebie, this is the thing that either pops up on your website or just appears on the website, where they have a space to put in their email address and their name and click subscribe or sign me up or whatever it is. And we'll go through all of these in detail. Workflows are basically email funnels. So this is a sequence of emails that you can set up in advance for people to receive. So if you want to set up a welcome sequence so that you're familiarizing people, well, you're welcoming them to your list, to your community, but then you're also familiarizing them with your business. So you might send them a welcome email as soon as they sign up. And then a week later, you send them something that tells them a little bit more about you and what you do, or maybe about the products that you sell or the services that you offer. And then a week later, you send them information about how they can sign up for your services or something like that. And then your audience is basically all of the people that are signed up for your email list. Okay, so let's look at emails. So to create a new email, you just click here, new email, and then again, you've got all of these beautiful templates that you can choose from. Over here on the left, they've got them categorized depending on what you're using it for. So if you want to share news, this will filter down to the templates that they've created that fit that best. So you can find one that you really like. So we're just going to click on this one. And then you can see what it'll look like on mobile versus desktop, and then you can customize it. Okay, so you can see here that your logo is showing up at the top. If you want to edit the placement of that or the size of it, you can increase the size by just sliding this bar around, or decrease the size if you want it to be a little bit smaller. And then here you can change the background color. It's not going to be a great option for my logo, but you can do that. You can see it changes. You can change the alignment, so you can move it over to the left, you can move it over to the right, or you can move it to the center. You can also adjust the padding, so you can drop it down. You can create more space between it and other things. So you can play around with these. If you don't want it at all, you can just hit the delete button over here on the right. Okay, and then going down here, you can add an image to this by clicking on the outer box here and uploading an image. Okay, this isn't a great image, but it's pretty funny. Okay, and then once you've got that, you can adjust the size if you want by just sliding this around. We want to make sure we see her ice cream since we're working on some recipes. And then you can change the overlay. So right now there's a black overlay, which actually works really well for white text, but you can change that to something else if you want to change the tone of it. You can use their suggested colors, or if you have brand colors that you want, you can just put that code down here. And then you can adjust the opacity. So just again, sliding this bar around. Then you can change the text by clicking on this inner box, and you can just type over what's already here. So you can change any of these around. You can also change the font. So to do that, you would just go over here. And let's do, so you can see that it changed slightly. They've also got these great scripts that aren't good necessarily to use too much on here because they're a little hard to read, but they make things look a little fun. Okay, and then also with the text, so you can change the font. You can also adjust the size here with the slider, and you can change the color. So to change the color, you just click on here. Again, you can use some of their suggestions, or if you've got brand colors that you want. You can change the alignment and the vertical alignment as well. And then you can change it to all caps, or if you want to do caps and lowercase. And then you can also change the spacing, so the line height, and then the letter spacing as well. And also the padding again, so how much padding there is around the text. Okay, and then you can go down here, change the text here, the descriptions here. Another cool thing that you can do is personalize these. So you can highlight the text, go to this add button, and then add a personalization, so you can add their first name. Now, if their first name isn't available, you can tell it what you want it to say. So we'll just say friend. Okay. So, and you can do that anywhere. So, you can go down to the bottom too and say, thank you so much, Angie, for being a part of everything we do. It's just something really sweet and nice that that adds something special for them. Okay, and again here you can change the text, you can change the color, you can change the font, the size, all of the same things. Now the button here, you can change what it says by just typing over it. You can change the style, so you can round the corners, you can really round the corners, or you can turn it into a pill style. You can do an outline. You can change the color of it again the same way that you have been with the text, and you can change the position of it as well, and then the border and sizing. And you can do that for the button, and you can do it for the font as well. And then the important thing about the buttons here is to add your link. So where do you want to send them? Okay. You can also attach a file. So if you don't want to have a link, if you don't want to bring them outside of this, if you've got something that, a document or something that you want them to have access to, you can attach that here, and then as soon as they click on the button, they'll have that available to them. Okay, and then if you don't want all of this stuff, you can just click on it and hit the garbage can over here to the right. So you can remove anything you don't want. And then there are a bunch of spacers in here, so you can remove those as well, even though they don't have anything in them, just to tighten things up a little bit. Okay, so if you like this, great. Again, you can edit all of this stuff, changing the font, the color, everything. you can see down here the address that you put in. You've got your social accounts that you linked, and then an unsubscribe button. Now, if you want to add something to this, so, choosing the template is great because it gives you a format to follow. But if you want to add a little something to it, all you have to do is go to where you want to add it and click on the plus sign. And then you'll have all of these options. So you can add your social links. You can show or pull in your Instagram posts. You can add a video. You can add another logo, an image. This layouts is cool because it basically allows you to use the templates that they've created. So you can go through here. Maybe you want to do something like this. And all of these you can edit again. So you can change the shape of the photo. Obviously, you can upload a photo here. You can change the font and colors and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's say that we've got it to a spot that we like. I really made a mess of this, didn't I? Okay, so we've got it to the spot that we want it, even though it's not very pretty. You can use your imagination. So once we're there, and you can do a preview on mobile as well. But once you've got it to where you want it, you can go up here to the upper right hand corner, click next. And then this should all automatically populate from what you put in your account information, but you can always change it. So it's coming from Clutch Businesses. The email address that shows up is the email address attached to your account. You can click continue, and then the subject line. Now, again, there's a lot of opinions about this. You can do a ton of research and figure out how to create and write impactful subject lines so that people will open and click on your emails, which is what you want them to do. We're not gonna go into that because that could be a whole new video, but I'm just gonna put something here, and then you can put some preview text. You don't have to, but I'm just gonna put something silly. And then click continue. Now here is where you choose who you want to send this to. Now let's say that we're doing recipes, and let's say that we're a chef service. So our segments are people who are interested in one-on-one services, people who are interested in the workshops, and then people who are just generally interested in what we have going on. So since these are recipes, I'm just going to choose all subscribers instead of boiling it down to one of these. But if you were sending your workshop schedule for the year, you could just select those people that are signed up with interest in your workshops. And we'll go over these segments later. But we're going to choose all subscribers. You can absolutely exclude people, individuals. You would just put those in here and save, and then click continue again. And then you can send the email right now, or you can schedule it for later. So this is really nice. You can schedule a bunch of them at once. So if you want to schedule all of them for the month or for the year, you can do that. So we're just going to select December 10th, and then you can choose a custom time, or you can just click whatever's best for the morning, the afternoon, or the evening. So we're going to choose the morning and save, and then click schedule. And this is just a confirmation that you actually want to do it. So you can click schedule, and then it'll bring you back to your email page. So this will list all of the emails that you've sent in the past and all of the emails that you have scheduled. And if you want to make changes, you just click on edit. It'll unschedule the email, but you can reschedule it once you're done making the changes. And then you can rename it so that it's something that's helpful. Right now it just says a few updates, which doesn't tell us anything really. So we could rename it to recipes. And then once it sends, it'll say that it's sent down here, and you won't be able to resend it. You can make a duplicate copy of it and schedule that to be sent out. But once it's sent, it's kind of done. If you hover over it, it'll give you the option to see how it performed. So to see how many people opened it, how many people clicked on it, which is all really helpful to figure out what content your list is responding to. Okay, so those are emails. Again, emails are one-time things, one and done. They are not ongoing things. If you're on the list when it gets sent out, you get it. If you're not on the list, you don't, and you will not. Okay, so then let's go to forms. So again, forms are the things that show up on your website or that you put on your website for people to sign up for your email list. So you click on new form over here on the right. They've got three options for three options for sign up forms. You can do a pop-up, you can do inline, or you can do a full page. So a pop-up is one of those that when you visit somebody's site, maybe you've been on it for a couple of seconds and something pops up off the screen for you to sign up for. An inline is this, where it's static. It just sits on the page. So if you've got a landing page for your opt-in, or a registration page or something like that, this is visible at all times, so they don't have to wait for it to show up. And then a full page option is more like a landing page. So you can easily do that in here if it's not as easy to do on your website. So let's create a pop-up. So we're going to customize this. We'll choose what segment we want it to send to. So let's say that we're creating an opt-in page for people that are interested in our workshops. So we're going to save that. Okay, and then that'll bring us here. We can format this so we can add an image by just clicking over here. Now the editing options or the customization options look the same whether it's an email, a form, or a workflow. Okay, so I'm just going to choose this random Flodesk picture. Okay, and then you can edit the text to say whatever you want, and again, you can choose the font, you can choose the color, you can choose the size, all the same things. Now, the one thing that I would recommend doing here, so it automatically populates a request for their email address, I would also put in, so if you just kind of click on the outside here, Fields pops up over here on the right. So I would also ask for their first name so that you can personalize all of your emails like we showed, or like we went over when we created that email. And then you can also ask for their last name, but it doesn't really, I don't know how helpful that is. And then the message that they get once they sign up. So you can see it's showing a preview here. You can say thank you for subscribing. They've got a bunch of other options, or you can customize your message. So you can customize the button again, the color of the button, what it says by just clicking on it and typing over that. You can change the style of the button to anything that you want. And then once you've got this to a spot that you like, click up here in the upper right hand corner. Okay, so here it's asking about that double opt-in. So double opt-in is where they would get, before they get anything, they would have to confirm their email address. So that can be a real bummer for people, but it's also important for other reasons. So again, do your research. I'm going to choose no. And then the display, or when we want it to pop up. So immediately is as soon as they go on to the web page. 10 seconds later, or when they scroll through 30% of the page. So I'm going to choose 10 seconds. And should we show this to return visitors who already subscribed? Again, this is a personal preference. I'm going to say no. And then this is if you want to be notified when people sign up. I don't necessarily, I'll just go in and look at everything on a weekly basis or a daily basis, just to keep my inbox tidy. So after this form is submitted, you can display the success message. So that was the one that we looked at that said, thanks for subscribing. Or you can direct them or bring them to a web page. So if you have a thank you page that you want them to go to, or you can take them directly to your freebie using this, and you would just type in that email address. I'm just going to choose select, or just going to display the success message. Okay, so now the header code, this is how your pop-up or your inline, whatever it is, gets onto your website. So we're going to copy this just by clicking copy there. You don't have to know what any of this means. You just have to copy it. And then I'll show you how to, so I use Squarespace for my website. I'll show you how to embed it into Squarespace. And, depending on your web host, it's going to be slightly different, but it'll be relatively the same. So you want to add this header code to every page that you want this pop-up to show up on. So if you want it to pop up on every single page of your website, then you would just put that on your website header code. But if you want it to pop up on specific pages, you have to go to those pages. So we're just going to put it on this one. Click on the wheel, the customization wheel here, and then go to advanced. And then here it says page header code injection. So I'm just going to paste that right there. Again, you don't have to know what any of this means. And then from there, I'm going to click save. And then let's wait 10 seconds and see. Okay, so there it is. So they would type in their first name, their email address, and click subscribe. And that's it. So now we're going to go back to the main page. So you can click F in the upper left-hand corner. And then let's talk, okay, so this will show you all of the pop-ups, not all of the pop-ups, but all of the forms that you have set up. And then now let's talk about workflows. So workflows, again, are a sequence of emails that you send to customers to nurture your relationship with them or to educate them on your business, get them familiar with you and what you do. So to create a new workflow, and you don't have to use these. If all you're doing is newsletters, then all you have to worry about is this email tab. If I was working with somebody the other day, all they had was just one welcome email that they wanted sent to everybody a couple of days after they made a purchase. It wasn't anything too extensive. But okay, so new workflow. Again, you've got some light suggestions from Flodesk here of what these would be used for. So if you want to welcome them, if you want to nurture your relationship with them. So we're just going to choose the welcome. Again, you can see what that'll look like on mobile. We'll customize that. What you set up here is how they get signed up to receive this sequence of emails. So the trigger is the subscriber is added to a segment. Now, again, we haven't talked a lot about segments. We will, but if you've got people that are interested in your workshops, you can choose that here. Now, this is saying that as soon as they sign up with interest for your workshops, they're going to get this Hi There Friend email. Now, you can edit that. You click on it and then edit that over here on the right. You can edit all of these just like you did the other email that we created. So again, you can type over this and say whatever you want. You can change the font, all of that kind of stuff. You can delete it, you can add to it, but format it, customize it with your stuff and what you want it to say. So these are light suggestions from Flodesk of what to say to people, which is helpful, but you don't have to follow it. Again, you can take out your logo, anything like that. Once you're finished, same thing, click finish in the upper right, and then it'll take you back to this page. Then it's saying 30 days later, we're going to send another email that says hello again. This is going to give a little bit of information about this photographer, what drives her, what she's all about. Again, you can customize this, hit finish. And then 30 days later, they're saying, here's what you can expect from us. Again, you can edit this, tailor it to your business, and then 30 days later, they've got another one going out. Now, you can delete these if you don't want them. Delete as many or as few as you want. And then the other cool thing here is you can change these delays. So if you want this welcome email, so if you're giving away a freebie and you don't want to overwhelm them with emails right off the bat, you could have this sent out 2 days after they sign up. So you would just choose time delay and then over here, put 2 days. And then here, they've got this sending 30 days after this last email. So it's not 30 days from when they signed up, it's 30 days from the last email. If you don't want to wait that long, you can click on that and choose 7 days. And maybe you want to do that on this last one. Another thing that you can do is if you really liked an email that you sent out, so if you were featuring an artist in one of your emails, or you love the way that you talked about one of the services that you offer, something like that, you can pull that email in. So just go to wherever you want it. If you want it to send out after the welcome email, just click here on this plus sign, and then it'll say choose this email, and then duplicate an existing email, and then you can choose one of the emails that you sent out before. So it'll make a copy and pull that in. Now, in this case, this right now is set up so that both of these emails are going to be sending. So you on the same day. So you can either delete this or you can add a time delay here. So if you want it to send out a day after that one. So get that all set up and formatted. Again, you can take some of these out if you don't want them. You can add them in, and then you can publish this. And publishing it just means that anybody that signs up for the segment or the trigger that you set for that workflow, anybody that signs up for that will automatically be subscribed to receive that sequence of emails. So again, it's different from the emails, so different from this. This email tab is one and done, sent out one time only. These workflows are sent out based on when somebody signs up. So they're ongoing, they're automated, they create a really great relationship and a really great way to communicate to your audience. Okay, so speaking of audience, let's go there now. So by clicking on audience, you're going to see a list of all of the people that are signed up for your email list. Now, you can add a subscriber to that individually. So if you meet somebody on the bus and they're like, hey, I love what you're doing, here's my email address, you can type that in here. If they're just generally interested in what you've got going on, you can put that here. If they have something new in a segment that you don't have set up already, they're really into recipes, you can just type that in, click create, and then you have to have their email address in there to save it, but you get the point. Now, if you already have an existing email list that you're using with a different platform, so MailChimp or ConvertKit or something like that, you don't have to manually enter all of those, and you don't have to maintain two separate lists. You can upload a CSV. So what you want to do first is go to the platform that you currently use, download a list, a CSV file with all of your contacts included on it, and then you'll upload that right here. So you'll just pull that file into this, and once you do that, they will all show up right here. And that doesn't matter if you've got 10 people on your list, if you've got 10,000, it doesn't matter, they'll all be here. So this will show you all of your contacts, and then you can see all of your segments right here, and you can see who's subscribed to them. So segments are just groups of people that are interested in similar things so that you can market to those specific interests, and you can have as many or as few segments as you'd like. Okay, so hopefully this audience portion should be pretty automated. Again, unless you meet somebody randomly on the bus or at a party or something like that, you shouldn't have to do anything here. If you have a conversation with somebody, if you're working one-on-one with somebody and they're like, oh, you know what, I actually would be really interested in some of the workshops that you have, you can add them to that segment. Let's say that this Hello at Clutch Businesses is also interested in your workshops. You can just go in here and add that segment. And then from there, just update the subscriber, and now they're on both of those lists. So people can be on two segments, or it can be on more than one or in more than one segment, and they can be set up for more than one workflow as well. So that's something that you want to be kind of cautious about, so that, again, you're not bombarding people with emails on a regular basis. But you'll figure that out, and it'll start to make sense. So hopefully this clarifies and clears the way so that you can really use Flodesk to its full potential. It is a beautiful platform. It creates beautiful messages that you can send to your people that they'll really enjoy. And I hope you enjoy it as well. But if you have any questions, if you run into any trouble, you can always reach out to me at hello@clutchbusinesses.com, and I'd be happy to help. But knock yourself out. I'm excited to see what you create. Thanks so much for hanging out with me.